Guys, you're not looking at Eric over there. You're looking at Pro as the guest co-host tonight. I'm so excited. Guys, welcome to episode 112 of the Drag Driver Pete Show presented by Summit Racing. Tonight, it's going to be a crazy show. I want to talk about the 668 Index. That was a ton of fun. Let me talk about Waffle House first. Dude, I think we probably spent, there was $5,000 worth of Waffle House eating this weekend. I didn't pay all that, obviously, but there was a lot of Waffle House eating this last weekend because of the circuit racers.
Well, you're the only person who takes mostly sober people to Waffle House. So, I mean, it's an adventure every time you wind up at the Waffle House, and you want to stick around for every last detail you can stick around for in that place.
Yeah. This one here, I think there were 17 of us that took over this Waffle House in Webb City. Big shout out to Dominic for making this happen. There was actually a Waffle House in our host hotel parking lot, and we still drove 6 miles to eat at this one. So it was pretty awesome to do. Austin came over and had 6 people in the wagon with him. There had to be 1,200 pounds of men in the wagon, maybe more, as they were going through there. He was trying to do a burnout. It just wouldn't do it. So big shout out to everybody that came over to Waffle House and hung out with us. Late night snacks are always good, and we had already eaten dinner. So
what do you normally order?
Get a waffle. So if I'm eating food, I'm a sausage, egg, and cheese bowl guy with extra crispy hash browns and gravy.
Perfect.
Yeah. What do you usually get?
Hash browns covered in chili. Throw some jalapenos at it, some onions. I'm a big fan of the hash brown.
I'm not gonna do that at midnight.
Oh, I do, because I don't care.
Yeah, the next morning would be vocal.
Price you pay.
Yeah.
Price you pay.
Mopar Nut here saying, what a great time. You guys killed it for all the adversity everybody went through. Well-run event. Big shout out to your wife and kids. Yeah, man. Melissa, I love you, babe. You were awesome. Your wife went above and beyond Saturday night late when we got back. 10 p.m. Sunday, your kids passing out water and tests. Yeah, I made them grab a cooler and go drive around and give people waters on Sunday because we had a weekend where it was in the 80s, and then Sunday it was 147 degrees outside with 300% humidity. So everybody was losing water very quickly, and those girls ran around on the golf cart all day just throwing waters at people, telling them to drink it. So it was pretty awesome. Performabuilt is the official transmission builder of Drag Driver Pete. At Performabuilt, the goal is to engineer and build the toughest transmissions on the planet. Performabuilt doesn't just rebuild transmissions, they systematically re-engineer each model to eliminate OEM flaws and to achieve the highest levels of performance. That is why they say our transmissions are not just built, they're Performabuilt. Waffle House, we got other stuff here. I just want to talk about $15,000 raise for the Youth Services of Tulsa. I can't say thank you enough for letting me be the catalyst that helped that become something. For folks that don't know, we donated a portion of each ticket sold to the shelter, to Youth Services. A portion of the shirts goes there. We did raffle tickets, raffle items, obviously donated by sponsors. We had the $1,075 from the Molly Motorsports deal, which is awesome. We had the $1,000 donation between Cody and Brian. We had the $1,155 between Dustin and Chris Paget. Like, it all added up. I mean, I don't have a final number. I was really hoping I could get time today to put all that math together, but it's somewhere like 15.3 or something like that based on my napkin math.
Can't believe you didn't have time to go ahead and knock that out today.
I didn't want to, man. To be honest, I'm so tired. I'm so tired. But I will get it this week. We will make that announcement on Saturday. And then for anyone that wants to go, I'm inviting you. I don't have a date yet. I've got to get with Carolyn from Youth Services of Tulsa to figure out when we're going to do the check presentation. I'm going to have the old company I worked for print a big check. I want to go over, I want to present it to them. I want to give them the money. I want cool cars there. I want it to be kind of a whole thing. So we may do it, like a Friday afternoon or something like that, so we can have more people there with cool cars. This event has grown immensely, and we had more than 200 people sign up, 153 racers signed up, 12 road trippers. It's the first time to ever do that program, and that will definitely stay. And next year, we won't be so frazzled when we get down, and parking will be better for all of our road trippers. I have a whole plan on how to do stuff, and we're already looking at tracks and trips and route stops and all that kind of stuff for 2026. So,
did the weather stop any of your road trippers?
No, they didn't care. It probably stopped some cool cars that were coming for road trip. But
Gotcha.
what we ended up happening with the road trip is it was a lot of, like, Travis Wise didn't have his truck ready So he said, I'll just do the road trip deal. And so, he got good parking. He got into the tracks. He got his wristbands, all that kind of stuff. It just made it so much easier for those folks. And it was $150 compared to $300. So if drag racing isn't necessarily something you're worried about, sign up for the road trip. You get all the cool stuff. You get the event shirts and all that. So with only 12 cars, though, I don't know if I can do custom t-shirts for that deal. But if we got upwards around 30, 40, 50, I would do custom shirts for the road trippers. They obviously got, custom decals and things like that. That'll be cool as we move through the next few years. But just want a big shout out to Brian Actton, three-peat winner down there in the street race power rider class. I mean, it's crazy to do that 3 times. I'm looking at some bounty options for him and for Jim Parkinson in the small tire class, or whatever Jim wants to do. I'm looking for folks that are going to be hitters in the 8th mile stuff. I want some really fast 8th mile cars there. And then, of course, the quarter mile stuff, our street race power rider class is our quickest. Quarter mile typically, because like all motor big block could probably get there pretty close if you had a 850 big block car, but there's not many of those in drag and drive. So right. Street race power riders probably are going to be our quickest class, but it's limited to 850. So if you got a John Paul Franks, if you've got a small block car, come out in all motor small block and take home that, get your car on the front or on the back of the shirt next year. The event was insane. It was absolutely insane, dude. I can't explain it to everybody how wild it just absolutely was to see the racer parties. You got to understand, like this pre-party deal, dude, she made enough for 250 plates, and she says at least 240 plates went out, maybe more. She said because some people didn't take both tacos, or some people didn't take all the beans. It's awesome. Big shout out to Los Cabos in Owasso. Big shout out to Broken Arrow Lanes in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. Racer parties galore. Racer parties galore. That's one thing we do on this thing is eat, man. Waffle House, tacos, all the stuff. We had burgers and pizza at Broken Arrow Lanes.
Can't go wrong with any of that.
No, I think that's all my notes. I was
going to say, I've kind of been glancing back and forth in the notes. I think that just about covered everything you had that you wanted to cover. So
yeah, all right.
That's why I'm trying to stay quiet over here and let you run.
let me just ramble at the mouth. Well, again, thanks so much to Performer Built. Ryan and the team up there are freaking awesome. If you need a transmission built, hit them up. They've definitely focused on GM stuff. 4L60s. He's put a 50s 300-pound wagon in the 9s that's twin turbo and makes all kinds of power on a 4L60. So get your mind right and do that same thing if you want to, or like maybe 4L80 stuff and have more fun. Again, thank you for being a race car friends. Thank you for being here. Fro, thank you, dude. You're like one of my best race car.
Hey, I feel like I don't contribute near as much as I should, but I do make a great plan B.
Yeah, you're pretty awesome tonight, man. I appreciate color commentary. Like I said before, it's awesome to have you here. And then thank you so much to our sponsors, man. We can't do this without them. So if you're trying to do some shopping, hit them up. Summit Racing, Deech Works, Molly Motorsports, Driven Racing Oil, Howard's Cams, J-Wire Solutions, WAF Racing, Performer Built Transmissions, Car Chains 3D, Power Tube TV, Sweet Patina, and Racing Junk Classifieds. Guys, find all those folks, and Eric and I will see you later. Fro will also see you on Gearhead Perspective podcast on Sunday nights live.
On Gearhead Perspective, #Hugs for Doherty.
Hugs for Doherty. All right, buddy. Later.